Welcome, beloved souls, to Awaken Your Authentic Self. Today's conversation is for you if you've ever wondered, did I really choose this life? These patterns, these challenges, this path? And if I did, how do I change it? Because in this episode, we are going deep into how your reality is actually created before you're even born. How thought and feelings shape every experience you're having right now, and how sound frequency and pure unconditional love can help you finally shift from fear into the truth of who you really are. Stay with us till the end because Dr. Gretta will be sharing a powerful first step you can take today. No tools, no course, no program needed to start transforming your reality from the inside out. If you're new here, welcome. I'm your host, Jessica Rooks, and this space is for soul-led seekers, spiritual empaths, and truth tellers who are ready to remember who they are and live from their deepest inner wisdom. Every episode is a journey inward, a place where we explore spiritual tools, intuitive insights, and heart-centered conversations to help you reconnect with your inner truth and awaken your authentic self. Today, I have the honor of sharing this space with Dr. Gretta Chamberlain. Dr. Gretta is a mystic channeler, transformational specialist, remote energy healer, best-selling author, and spiritual guide with a lifelong connection to the metaphysical realms. She holds a doctorate in Naprapathic Medicine, and she weaves that scientific understanding of the body together with her intuitive and energetic gifts to help people awaken to their infinite inner potential. She's known for channeling the realm of beings, a collective of non-physical guides who share profound wisdom about the nature of reality, unconditional love, healing, and the illusion of separation. She also hosts the podcast Shifting Impressions and a recording artist whose new age album In Silence, created with sound healer Danielle Heiss, has been considered for a Grammy and is being used as a tool to soothe the nervous system and support deep inner healing. Wow, Dr. Gretta, it is such a blessing to have you here on Awaken Your Authentic Self. Thank you so much for saying yes to this conversation.
Thank you for inviting me. And I'm going to say thank you for inviting us because the realm of beings that I channel is always with me. So we're glad to be with you today.
Well, that is a beautiful gift indeed, and welcome to them as well. Dr. Gretta, I'd love to begin by going right into one of the core pillars of your work. You hold a medical doctorate in Naprapathic Medicine, yet your teachings go far beyond the physical body. You speak often about creation before conception, the idea that we shape our reality before we are even born. For the seekers listening who feel like life is just happening to them, can you explain how we actually chose these challenges and where our free will fits into that pre-birth design?
This is interesting. We may be a while on this one. I have a class that I teach called The Creation of Reality Before Birth. And what happens is that we see ourselves here and we know that we went through birth because everybody here does it. But then we don't think about, well, how did I get to that point? So I'm going to start off with explaining the force.
Okay.
The force is the energy that creates all of existence. And you have to understand about the force so I can explain to you the decisions that are made
Okay.
prior to being born. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So think of your hand and think of the Some people would say we have 5 fingers. Some people would say we have 4 fingers and a thumb. Okay. But nonetheless, we have 5 appendages to our hand. That is what the force is like.
Okay.
Um, it has 5 sections to it, what I call aspects of itself. And each one of the aspects has a particular job or responsibility that it does to the creation of reality that goes into infinity. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the first one would be the unconscious. You know, everyone thinks that uh, each one of us has a different unconscious, but in actuality, there's only one unconscious, and it's the unconscious of the force, and everything and everyone in existence uses the unconscious. Now, what does the unconscious do? The unconscious holds every experience, every thought, every emotion, all the experiences, as I said, for each individual that is now functioning in an actuality. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now, when we're talking that, we're talking about a blade of grass, we're talking about a pebble of sand. Everything is living. There's nothing that is not living. It's then, okay, so we have the unconscious that holds everything, doesn't miss a beat. The second thing is the energy. There's only one energy. I was facilitating for a young woman, and she decided that she wanted to follow or to accept the work of a gentleman doing longevity. That's another form of energy work.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things he told her was, I don't want you working with Greta because I don't want her energy mixing with my energy.
Oh dear.
Right. So he did not understand that there's only one energy and it doesn't matter. We put it in on earth, we put it into different forms. Like we might use it for Reiki,
Mm-hmm.
we might use it for radionics, we might use it for what I do, the facilitation work. But we use energy, we can change the frequencies, we can change the colors, it doesn't matter. But there's only one, and that is the energy of the force. So now you have 2 aspects, you have the unconscious and you have the energy. The third part of the force we call the overall etheric body. Now, everything inside your body has an etheric body. It looks like a grid.
Mm-hmm.
Think of yourself, uh, your etheric body, as a grid made out of horizontal and vertical lines.
Okay.
If everybody can imagine that, okay? But everything in existence has an etheric body. The one for the force is called the overall etheric body
Mm-hmm.
because it manages all the etheric bodies that are functioning wherever. See, right now, you know that we're on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you don't know, and we know we're in a universe, but you don't know which number this universe is.
Right.
Because creation goes into infinity. So, for all we know, we could be on universe number 573, and there's another universe out there, 9,642,000.
Mm-hmm.
See, because it goes on into infinity. All right. So, back to the overall etheric body, make sure that all the etheric bodies everywhere throughout existence are working. Now, what does an etheric body do for us here on Earth? First of all, you have an etheric body that's over your physical body. And the etheric body, when you get ready to make your transition, the etheric body functions in two ways. It's going to start to disintegrate, or it's going to start to dismember itself. If I'm looking at someone, I can always know when you're getting ready to leave. If I look at your your etheric body,
Mm-hmm.
and it's starting to fade, or maybe an arm is missing, and so forth.
Okay.
So now let's go to a doorknob. Everybody has a different doorknob in their house. I'm sure in Thailand there are other types of doorknobs as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the doorknobs are energy, just like we are energy. But in order for you to see that doorknob the way it is looking to you, there's an etheric body over it. So the etheric body holds the energy, which is the force as well, holds the energy to look like you want it to look,
Mm-hmm.
like your bed. If there was no etheric body for your bed, you wouldn't see it.
Right.
In other words, if you go into the market and there's a apples sitting there, you won't see the apples unless the etheric body is there to hold the shape of the apple the way
Okay.
you want it to look. So
Okay.
that's the responsibility of the overall etheric body. Every cell in your body has an etheric body over it, but get this, everything inside the cells, like the mitochondria, the Golgi bodies, all those types of things inside the cell, each one of them has an etheric body as well. So remember, the etheric body helps to hold the energy the way you want it to look.
Okay.
So now the next thing is the white body, WHITE. I call it the white body because that's what it looks like to me when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a round circle, very smooth, and a very bright white color, like a white piece of paper. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the responsibility of that aspect of the force is to hold all characteristics of every being or individual that has been created within existence.
Okay.
Now, okay, and I'm going to get back to that body in a minute. Then the incarnate aspect of the force is that which works and develops you as a person. So the together, they all work together. And let's say that there's a decision, the force has made a decision that they want to create a human individual. They want to create that human, and they want the human to be a female. And then they can say, we want the female to be around, let's say, the year 2037, or we could say the year 1820,
Mm-hmm.
or you could say, I want a human being during Lemuria times, or I want a human being female who's going to be Atlantean during the Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so it makes those decisions, and it makes the decision of what lessons it wants to learn. See, we think it in the books it talks about, we're learning lessons. We give the lessons to ourselves. That's true. But when do we give ourselves the lessons?
Right.
We give ourselves the lessons when we recognize that we are the force. So
Okay.
we haven't gotten all these pieces yet. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
what I mean by pieces, part of being humanoid or human is that we have subtle bodies. Right now, I'm up to about 29 of them,
Mm-hmm.
plus the physical body that you see is one of those subtle bodies. So when you're constructed, and it's been said now, it's been determined that you're going to be female. We're going to put you around 2025, and we're going to um, give you these lessons are the lessons that I want to learn, and the I is the force.
Okay.
You're actually learning lessons for the force. We think we're learning lessons for ourselves, but that is true. We are. But I'll explain why. Okay, so we have the lessons. We have the subtle bodies. All of the subtle bodies are online except your physical body. You have an electromagnetic body, you have a fascia body, you have a chemical body, you have a fluid body. You have all these bodies except the physical body.
Right.
Now, the incarnate knows that it wants to experience a female. And I set the stage 2025 and so forth. And the lessons are there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then, once you get all of your subtle bodies online, that is your beginning and your introduction into illusion. Because if you get a chance, you can go online on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and pull up pre-birth stories and just listen to a few. And you'll see that before now we haven't gone through conception yet now.
Right.
All of this is happening before that. That sometimes in the pre-birth stories they'll tell you, I didn't want to come. So, how can they determine that they don't want to come? That's because they already know the lessons. They already have a mental body, mental subtle body, which is where you have your thoughts. And you already have an emotional body where you have your emotions. So when I say I don't want to come, I don't have my physical body yet, but I have my lessons.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm going to be female. Okay? That's all I know. I'm female and I have my lessons. So, but then I'm saying I don't want to come. That means I'm already thinking. It also means that I have thought, which is from my mental body. I already have emotions because I don't want to come. So the not wanting to come is usually out of fear. So I haven't gone through conception yet, and I'm already thinking I don't want to come here
Right.
or go here, whatever. Okay. And I'm already expressing my mental body through my thought and expressing my emotional body through my fear of wanting to come. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But we're encouraged. We've already made the commitment to do it. So somehow we get over that and we decide to move on. Now, when I say move on, we still don't have conception yet because to have conception, you've got to have parents.
Correct.
So you know you already know now what your lessons are because as the force, but now you've stepped into the illusion of being a human being and you decide, okay, I've got all these lessons. What individuals inside the reality that I'm getting ready to be born in, what individuals will best teach me the lessons that I have chosen to learn? So then you go and you choose your parents. When you choose your parents, you've chosen uh, a legacy, you've chosen an ancestry, you've chosen epigenetics, you've chosen your cultural framework, and then you can choose what country you want. Maybe I want to live in Thailand, and I will choose two Thailandese parents, mother and father. Or maybe I still want to be Thailandese, so I'm going to choose those parents, but those parents are not going to be in Thailand, they're going to be in England.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so you're making all of these decisions before you're even gone into conception. When all that's done and settled, then the sperm and the egg meet, and that starts your conception. But look all that you had to deal with. And look how the force in all its five aspects works with you to assist you in your own creation of self. Now, the physical body, when you start conception, that's when you start creating your own physical body. Yes, I know that there's a whole pattern that you have the sperm, you have the egg, you have the chemicals, you have the proteins, you have the genes, the DNA, you got all that stuff. But even with all of that, we as individuals create our own physical bodies. And then at a certain point, we decide, okay, I'm ready to occupy it. Now that's going to depend on you. At what point do you want to occupy it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to occupy it as the zygote, or do you want to occupy it as the embryo, or do you want to occupy it when you're 5 months into the womb or into your birthing? It's all up to you because each one of us, creates our own reality at every moment. At every moment. And before conception, we have made these decisions as the force. But the one interesting thing about this is that once you take on all of those subtle bodies, you begin to forget that you're the force that creates all of existence. By the time you come in to you add your physical subtle body to all the other bodies, you don't even remember that you were the force. You don't even remember what you went through. You're only going to be totally present in illusion now.
Wow.
So I know.
That's incredible.
So that's kind of how we explain that you create your reality before birth. Yeah.
Well, I love that description. And then when I have to say that when you talked about the force and you were talking about the etheric body and how you view your bed, I wish I could view my bed here in Thailand as a whole lot more comfortable because they like very, 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 very firm mattresses here, and my body is paying for it horribly. Now, you channel the realm of beings who teach about the illusion of separation. When you
Yeah.
channel them, what do they identify as the single biggest energetic block that is preventing humanity right now from stepping into the unconditional love you speak of?
Well, Jessica, let's go back to that whole thing, how we created our reality before birth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One of the characteristics that's given to us by way of, remember I talked about the white body that
Yes.
appears as around her? Okay. Remember it has all the characteristics of everything that's been created in all of existence?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's look at you being human. Being human has certain characteristics to it. One of the characteristics is that we forget we're the force. Okay, we don't remember that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The second characteristic is that we believe in separation. So the belief in separation is one of our characteristics, but also one of our lessons. Because our lessons here within being human is to recognize that we are all one,
Mm-hmm.
that there is no separation between us, regardless of what we look like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what religion we practice. It doesn't matter what our physical bodies look like. If we're tall, we're short, we have weight, we don't have weight, we're skinny, whatever. It doesn't matter. You see.
Mm-hmm.
But we believe in separation. So we create things to help us stay separated from each other. See, when you understand that you are the force and that everybody else in existence and everything in existence is the force, then you must accept oneness, you see.
Yes.
Until you understand that then you cannot accept oneness. So that is one of our lessons, and that is one of our characteristics, separation. Now, let's talk about that a while. Look at how we separate ourselves. We separate ourselves financially. I've
Mm-hmm.
got more money than you've got. You're poor, I'm rich. You see,
Mm-hmm.
separation. Then I'm more educated than you, or you're less educated than me. So we separate by education all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's being done. Okay. The next thing is we separate by religion. I belong to this religion, you belong to that religion, but my religion is better than your religion. You can have a religion, like for instance, let's take Christianity, and inside Christianity, you're going to have all different types of sects, sects,
Right.
different divisions of it. So some divisions think if you're going to be Episcopalian, oh, Episcopalian, that's the religion to belong to. That's the sect. The
Mm-hmm.
religion is Christianity. But look at Christianity has divided and separated itself into so many different divisions of itself. Buddhism has done the same thing. Islam has done the same thing, and we can go down the line, Zoroastrianism. We could look at all of those, but it's set up for separation. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying that belonging to a religion is bad. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying, though, is that it can, depending on how you feel about your religion, if it's better than anybody else's, then you are supporting separatism.
Right.
If you see your religion and you know that it is just a spiritual thing that I have accepted to practice at this time, and I'm accepting you to practice whatever religion that you want to do, then we're moving out of separatism into oneness, but gradually. Not quite there yet, but uh, but we're there with that thought system. So, separation is a definite lesson and a definite characteristic. The next lesson that we have, which is a biggie, is to love ourselves.
Hmm. Self love,
Now, some
absolutely.
Right. Some people, some cultures don't like to use the word love. They'll use the word like. However, you want to do it, you want to like yourself or you want to love yourself. And sometimes we have chosen parents now. Let's go back to when we choose those parents to support our lessons. Sometimes we're going to take a parent that may teach us that we don't love ourselves, that we're not accepted culturally by the person. Maybe in my lessons, I've decided that I'm going to be transgendered. I'm going to practice being transgendered in this particular reality this time. Okay. But I'm going to choose parents that are going to dislike me because of my sexual preference.
Right.
You see. So I'm learning a lesson. I chose them for them to teach me this lesson about myself. So even though I've chosen to be transgender, it's important, regardless of what you've chosen to be, that you continue to love yourself. Because in loving yourself, that's accepting your divinity, even though you don't remember that you're the force, but you know that you have some sort of divinity about you. And that's how you've chosen to express a certain religion within inside your beingness, you see. So we've got unconditional love and we've got separation. A plus with all the other lessons that we've chosen. Some of us choose to be abandoned so that we can experience that. It's all for the experiential evolution of the force. Because, see, we're a duality.
Mm-hmm.
Duality is that one part of us is the force and stays the force all the time. The other part that we're dealing with, that's part of this duality, is personality.
Mm.
So when you're dealing with someone, everybody, I don't care what their personalities are like, but they're still all the force. They've chosen different personalities because it makes it interesting, you know. So it doesn't get such a bland activity in the on Earth, but we do use it to perpetuate the learning of our lessons. So we did because, for instance, you might be in a room with a lot of people and you'll see someone across the hall, across the room, and you're going, mm. For some odd reason, I don't like that person. So you're not connecting to the energy of the force of that person. You're connecting to the energy of the personality of that person.
Okay.
And that's how you determine, am I going to like somebody or I'm not going to like them? You know, when I was a little girl, my mother, I must have been about 7 years old, and my mother had we were walking uh, down the street. We were in Chicago, and in the downtown area, that was at that time it had a lot of shops in it, and you'd walk around. This was before the concept of the mall came into reality. Okay,
Horrible
so
concept.
So a lady came up to my mom, and they knew each other, and they were so happy to see each other. They stood there, and I'm standing, looking up at them, because even now today I'm a short person, and I was watching them talk and talk, and then finally they said, "Okay, we'll keep in touch with each other," and they parted. Right.
Mm.
So I look up at my mother and I tell her, I don't like that lady.
Mm.
And my mother said, Greta, how can you say that? I said, I don't like her, Mama. I don't like her. So what was I picking up on?
Her energy.
I
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the energy of the personality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So we know.
Oh, we
We
definitely know. You can walk into a room and know.
right. Did I answer your question,
Yes, you
Jessica?
did. Absolutely. Let's get on to talking about your album. Dr. Greta,
Oh,
your album In Silence is described as a tool to soften the nervous system. From a metaphysical perspective, can you explain what is actually happening to our energetic field when we expose it to these specific crystal bowl frequencies combined with channeled wisdom? Is the sound unlocking something within us, or is it clearing something away?
I think it can. I think the album does both. Um, I know how people. Let me say this, Jessica. When I sat down and I wrote the words, and I called Danielle, and she said she would play the bowls, I didn't realize what I was in the midst of creating with the realm of beings.
Mm,
Danielle, I didn't realize. I just knew they had said we're going to do an album, and then they said we're going to apply to uh, the Grammys and see if we can win a Grammy. You know, and I had been waiting to do something to music with the realm of beings for 5 years. So this just didn't pop up.
right.
Um, I had tried with Stephen Weiss to do, he wrote two pieces for just two quotes. And you can find those on the internet as well. And then I had Sabina Lilly. She did one with one of the quotes with joy. But neither person was able to continue with me
Mm-hmm.
because of their own personal obligations to themselves and their families. So I put it on a back burner. And when Sabina told me, she said, Greta, I can't. I said, don't worry about it. We don't, I'm just going to set it aside. Well, I was in New York in my hotel room, and I sat up in bed and I said, oh my goodness, because I was being given some feedback from the realm of beings that was telling me, okay, we want you to do this again, but we want you to make it an album, you know.
Right.
And it's not like sometimes they'll talk to me. Specifically, I'll hear another voice speaking to me, but they only do that when they want to make sure that I understood something. But anyway, I asked them, I said, so who's going to play the music? And then they said, call Danielle. So I called Danielle. She was doing a show herself I think she was in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And I called her early in the morning. I said, look, this is what's come to me. And they suggested that you do it. Would you like to do this? She said, sure, Greta, I'd love to do it.
Mm,
And that's how she and we had already known each other for about 5 or 6 years. So, uh, but this was new for us to work together like this. And after it was done, we laid the album down. Let me say this: we laid the album down in 13 hours,
wow.
and we made two live videos, which people can find on YouTube. And so people, um, my social media coordinator, the director for us. She said that was almost unheard of to do a complete album in one day. Usually, it takes longer than that. Okay, so the album got done. We went through the whole thing, and we put it out there. People started listening to it, and they said, "Oh, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me feel so calm." Greg was the person that um, he was the one that mixed and mastered the album, and he said, "I enjoyed working on this album." He said, because all while I was working on it, I felt so peaceful while I was doing it. And other people told me, oh, it's beautiful. Some people play the album to go to sleep.
I could
Some
see that.
people, yeah, some people play the album to use to meditate. Some people use the album to listen to it to support their healing process. Like I have a lady who I facilitate for, and she's experiencing cancer, and she plays the one that is called, um, uh, let me see, I think it's called Respect Yourself or Respect. I think that's the name. Yeah.
Yes.
So, uh, no, I'm sorry, not Respect. See, I don't even know my own album. It Resurrect,
Oh,
Resurrect.
yes, that was a good one.
Yeah, Resurrect Yourself. So she plays that because it encourages her to say, I don't have to. I might have created cancer for myself, but I don't have to stay there. There was one lady, she was apologizing to me. She's a nurse, a registered nurse, and she's teaching nursing at one of the city colleges in New Jersey. And she said, Greta, I came in from work, I put on the album, and I was sitting in my comfortable chair, and before I knew it, I was asleep. She
Mm,
said, I'm so sorry, Greta, I just went to sleep. I said, that is a testament to this album.
yes.
Showed how calm it makes you feel so that your whole body relaxes. The whole body. This is the feedback we're getting.
And you're still
And
getting the message subconsciously as you're sleeping. Because
apps,
I listened to what you sent with my partner, and wow, we wanted more. We definitely
oh,
we wanted more. We're like, okay, she sent previews. Now we want the whole album because it just put us in a place that was so calming and so. And he was like, okay, I feel like the message got cut off. I want the rest of the message.
oh yes, yes. You know, it was really a beautiful, beautiful experience. Beautiful experience
Well, I'm
for us.
so glad that you were able to share that with the world because wow, that it's for everybody listening. You have to get that. I will have that in the show notes because her album is amazing. It is so calming. And like she said, you could definitely use it for meditation. You can use it just if you had a hard day and just to put yourself back in a peaceful place. It just puts you in a mindset that is overwhelmingly calm. It is so wonderful to listen to.
And the bowls.
Oh, I love the bowls.
When we were, oh yeah, when we were talking about the bowls, I asked Danielle. I said, "Do you want to put it to 432 hertz?" And she said, "Oh no." She said, "Greta, I'm a purist." And I said, "Well, what does that mean?" Because I'm familiar with that term used in reference to the bowls. So she explained it to me, and the bowls that you are hearing on the album are at their own frequency. Nothing was changed.
Really?
Right. So she's playing a G sharp or she's playing whatever. It's doing its own frequency. It's doing its own vibration. So we did not do anything technical to change it to another frequency. Everything is natural.
I love that because everybody right now is so focused on certain frequencies and where I get that there are healing frequencies and there are some that make you feel a certain way versus others. But it's true that one is just so it needed to be exactly how it is because it is perfect. It's natural. It just puts you where you need to be. And I think honestly, for anyone who listens to it, it's going to give them what it is that they're looking for, whether or not they know what that even is.
Thank you. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. But we're very proud of the piece and the realm of beings. Their language that they use. I'd like to read one quote to you that comes out of the piece In Silence. So the album was called In Silence, and this was one of the pieces that we decided to use
Absolutely.
as the title of the album. But one of the quotes is, "In the silence of your mind, see the trueness of the spirit that abides deep inside of your inner being." And that's just one quote from that piece. Yeah.
That I'm glad that was your first piece, and I'm glad that's what you named the album, because that really did set the tone for the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing is about going inside yourself internally. You know, as humans, we want to always seek outside.
Right.
And what we want to retrain ourselves to do is to go inside.
That's where the
So the
answers are.
Yes, absolutely. Not outside of ourselves, inside ourselves.
I,
Yes.
I actually had that conversation with someone who recently, and we were discussing how even for people who they're angry or they're having issues or they're going through divorce or they're going through, career changes, they always want to place the blame on everyone else instead of just looking inside to realize the part that they had to play in something, taking accountability. And when they do that, they actually, and if they would just do that, they would get more freedom and more peace than always trying to place blame on the outside where they're actually getting hurt and they're causing more negative emotions, which in turn is causing negative energy within their bodies. And more people just need to know to look inside.
Yes, and one of the teachings of the realm of beings is, and not only just the realm, but other people as well, that we each one of us create our own reality.
Mm-hmm.
When we understand that, then we understand that no one can we can't blame anybody for something,
Nope.
you know, because you know that you create your own reality, so you did it. When I was teaching school with children, I used to tell them, I said, if you're angry, go into the lavatory area and look in the mirror. Because if you want to be angry with yourself. I
Mm-hmm.
don't encourage that, but that's because it's coming from you. People tell me, they'll call me and they say, Greta, I got fired. And I said, oh, how interesting. You fired yourself.
Mm-hmm.
See, nobody can fire you. It's impossible because nobody can be in control of your reality. Because the only realities that we are ever in control of are our own realities. You see?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I've been having these moments where I wake up and I've been getting these messages and I just write them down and and two of them are, and I just take them and I turn them into like quotes and I put them out there. And I don't know, I think I'm supposed to write a book someday. I feel like this is what's coming to me. But one of them is, you are currently living the life you created, so start creating the life you want to live.
Absolutely.
And the other one is, you have led yourself to and through your lived experiences. If you are unhappy with who and where you are, change the way you lead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we're never stuck
Nope.
in anything, ever.
We choose it. You choose to be stuck.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Greta, let's go to for the listeners who've stayed with us here till the end. I want to circle back to that promise I made them at the start. Many of our listeners are empaths who feel the weight of the world deeply. If someone is listening right now and feels completely disconnected from their authentic self, what is the very first step that they can take today before they buy a course or a book to begin shifting their reality from fear back to love?
There's so many different ways, but one way that we specifically teach that the realm of beings has given us is called a QDR, quick displace replace. And it's a method, it's very simple. Your audience would need to write this down because I'm coming to explain, give it to you, and to explain how to use it. Um, let's say you have fear, but you don't know what you're fearful about. Because some people have a lot of fears, but they aren't sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want it. You want to get rid of it. Now, this takes us back to the force. Remember that the unconscious that we use is the force, and it remembers everything about you. It remembers when you sneezed. It remembers when you ate a rice cake. It remembers everything. So, with that in mind, you're going to talk to it. This QDR method is talking to the unconscious. But before you start, we want you to put words that say, I am experiencing. You see, because I'm going to explain the difference between being stagnated and dynamic. If you say, I am happy, that's a stagnated affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because 5 minutes later, you can say, oh, so and so did this, and I am so unhappy. So it was only 5 minutes ago that you said, I am happy.
Right.
You see, and now you're unhappy. But when you make it dynamic and you put, I am experiencing, feeling happy, then you have a stronger opportunity of keeping it going, you see. There's a commercial in the United States that has a little pink bunny on it about a battery, and it just keeps on going, keeps on going.
I know that little pink bunny.
So we can apply that commercial to having a dynamic statement. So in front of the QDR, you're going to say, I am experiencing, releasing all emotions and thoughts that support me in creating and maintaining fear of any sort. That is the displaced part, you see.
Right.
And you can put anything, creating and maintaining gaining weight, creating and maintaining being angry with my partner. Anything you don't want,
Right.
you can start the QDR quick displace. But now, if you don't replace it, it just comes back
Right.
and says, here I am again. So you want to replace it. So the next line, I love myself unconditionally.
Mm.
That's the replacement. I love myself unconditionally. So that will help. Now, it'll stop things right there, right then and there. However, it can come back. Why? Because the energy of the thing you're trying to get rid of is stronger than the energy of intent that you put into the QDR. So it can come back to you.
That
But we
is more
encourage you,
comfortable.
right? But we encourage you, if it comes back, don't be upset with yourself. Just say it again. Because the
Absolutely.
people that I work with, they're telling me, oh, Greta, I was QTRing all day. I said, well, that's a good thing. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Yeah. And then we teach people how to write their own affirmations,
Mhm.
but we always make it dynamic now. I am experience.
I love
Always.
that.
Hmm.
I love that. Yeah, I'm all about the affirmations. I try to teach that to people all the time. And I like that, adding that dynamicness to it because it's true. It just kind of even changes the whole energy of what it is that you're putting out there.
And we'd like to give you the one that we give everybody. It is, and it can be adjusted between love and like, depending on the cultural framework of the person. Um, but it says it's 7 lines long, but extremely powerful. And we always suggest people to start saying it like 5 times in the morning and 5 times in the evening, and maybe do that for at least 3 months. And then you can move it to once, once a day,
Hmm.
But if you feel that you need it, then you say it. Some people say it a lot. Some people I know, they tell me, I say that while I'm driving to work or I'm driving somewhere. So it goes like this. I'm going to give it to you, and then I will explain it. It won't take long. The first line is, but let me preface this. I want to say that loving, and I said it earlier on the program, that loving yourself is very important, or liking yourself is very important. It is one of the most biggest things that you can do because it's honoring yourself as the force. It's honoring yourself as being divine. So we encourage plus it sets the tone for the other realities that you're going to create. Because see, if you're loving yourself, then someone else has got to support you in that.
Yes.
That's how it works. Create one of the protocols for existence is um, create, support, create. Like the relationship that you and I are having right now, Jessica. I'm creating and you're supporting me. You are creating and I'm supporting you.
Yes.
Now, if we both love each other, I love me and you love you,
Yes.
then the only way you can support me is me loving me. And the only way I can support you is you loving you. My
Yes.
daughter, she's 38 now, but when she was 7 or 8 years old, I was driving her to school. And out of the clear blue sky, and nothing's really out of the clear blue sky, everything's on purpose. But she says to me, Mommy, who do you love the best? And I said to her, Kai, I love me
Mm-hmm.
the best. She was so saddened. She was so,
Oh,
Mommy, you don't love me more? I said, absolutely not. I said, Kai, if I don't love myself, how can I begin to love you? And she understood.
oh, it's true though. It's very, very true.
So the affirmation goes like this: we love ourselves unconditionally, we forgive unconditionally, we love ourselves unconditionally, we feel ourselves loving ourselves unconditionally. Then the next line says, we forgive ourselves unconditionally. Because sometimes we create things, at least I do. I have to sit down and say, now, Greta, how did you create that? So we forgive ourselves unconditionally. And then the next part is the most important part of this. It says, we thank you, we thank you. That means I'm thanking you because you supported me in my lesson.
Yes.
This is my lesson, it's not yours. but you supported me in it. Even if you called me a nasty name, that's showing me that I don't love myself. So
Correct.
that means I need to work with Greta, you see. So the we love ourselves unconditionally means that here it goes with the force now. You're talking about yourself and the unconscious, which is the force. That's the we in the we love ourselves unconditionally. And then unconditional love is so important because that's when you um, learn that um, I love myself regardless of what I've created. I know that I may create things that I really like, and then again, I may create things that I wish I had never started or did, and that's okay too. But through all of that, I love myself. When you get down to lines 6 and 7, which says, we thank you, that you're showing to the unconscious that you recognize that no one has done anything to you.
Hmm.
It's impossible. So I can only thank the person for providing the experience for me because I created them to provide that for me. So that's what the we thank you means. So
Well,
we encourage people to say, use it.
absolutely. You have to thank for the positive experience as well as the negative experience because that negative experience is a teaching tool.
Absolutely. Even the positive ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everything because we're here in this space because the reality of the earth here because we're here to learn lessons.
Right.
It's about.
Ah, well, Dr. Greta, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your heart, and your frequency with us today. It's been such a gift to explore creation before conception, the power of internal transformation, the beautiful bridge between sound, the nervous system, and unconditional love. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. This was really great. I enjoyed being with you and being with your audience. So I would like them, to check me out on YouTube and check the music out on Spotify and Apple and other music venues or platforms. So, yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
And thank you. And for those of you listening who feel called to go deeper with Dr. Greta, I will definitely make sure that all of her links are available in the show notes so you can explore her podcast, Shifting Impressions, her remote healing work, and her album In Silence with the Realm of Beings. Beloveds, if this conversation resonated with you, I invite you to take a moment after this episode ends to integrate, maybe sit in silence, put your hands on your heart, and just notice what wants to be felt. If you feel supported by this space, please follow the show, leave a review, and share this episode with a friend or loved one who is ready to remember that they are the creator of their own reality. Your shares truly help this work reach the souls who are calling for it. To every beautiful being listening, thank you for bringing your presence, your courage, and your open heart here today. Remember that you are not broken, you are not behind, and you are never separate from love. You are already the light you are seeking. Until next time, may you continue to awaken gently, bravely, and authentically to who you really are. This is Jessica Rooks. Blessed be.